I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the voice of German darts, Elmar Paulke. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Alex?
Doing well, thank you. And on Sunday, we saw Nico Kurz successfully retain the German Super League title, beating Dragutin Horvat 10-9 in the final, earning a return to Ali Pali at the end of the year. How exciting a finish was it, though, with Dragutin missing the double 12 for a 1-4-1 in the decider?
Yeah, that was a brilliant final. Nico Kurz, he was down 4-8 in the legs and played brilliantly after that. It's the first player in Germany who could defend the title, so it's his second time in Ali Pali next year. Nico is a very interesting player, actually, for Germany. 23 years old, a big talent. His parents were very good in soft tip, and he's very experienced in soft tip as well. So he's interesting. But still, that's what he said after the final. He's not going the professional way. He still wants to do his job, and he still wants to keep it like he's doing it. You know, it's working for him. But yeah, this final was good stuff. The Super League, the quality of the game in the first couple of weekends was not really good. Couple of matches in the average under 70. But at the end, there was a game we all had great fun with, and it was very exciting.
Let's just talk a little bit about Nico then, because he made an impressive debut at the World Championship last year, of course, winning the German Super League to qualify. And he's having a look. He's only, I think, 4 or 5 months younger than Max Hopp, both are 23 at the moment. What's the general impression in Germany right now, and who is the best player out of those two right now?
Okay, if we have a look at the rankings, Max is the number one. I mean, we should put Gabriel Clemens in that trio. I think these three are the best now. The way Nico is playing in the Super League, and that's the standard. You know, he can beat a couple of players. So last time at Ali Pali, he beat Joe Cullen as well. So one of the top 16 players. He has a great ability. He has a great throw. He's technically very, very fine the way he's throwing the dart, but he's not as experienced as Max Hopp is, for example. And I still, that's always the question in Germany. We don't have so many good players. It's always the question, who is the number one right now? And I always say, okay, let's have a look at the rankings, and Max is the number one for the last 2 years. And so I think he's the best player right now.
You mentioned Gabriel Clemens there as well. He's made a big impact in the last few years, hasn't he? He's now into the top 40 on the PDC order merit, made his first TV final last year. Do you see him as the next German to maybe crack the top 32?
I think so, yeah. Gabriel is really a player who's trying the professional way now for more than a year. And he's doing it in a very intensively way, in a very professional way, with a mental coach, with his own darts office. He's doing everything for that, and he's improving, and he has a big talent. That's what I hear from all the international players as well. He has a very big talent, and when people are talking about when he's practicing, that's a very high standard, and he's getting it together now on big stages as well. He's great on Pro Tour. He's great at Players Championship events with high averages, and now he's getting this performance on big stages. And I think he has the potential to be top 32 and top 20 as well, honestly.
You've been in the commentary box for DAZN for the German Super League the last few weekends, calling the action. What was your first reaction, though, when you found out PDC Europe's plans to run the event now, while a lot of the other main darts events, they've been put on hold, haven't they?
Yeah, it was a great sign, to show darts is there as well. We're starting this first Super League weekend before the Bundesliga started. It's at 3:30, in the afternoon. So there were only just 2 sport events we had in Germany, which were on TV, and that was great to show the people you can play darts, and we can do that. And I'm sure it was a good sign as well for the PDC doing tournaments in England, I believe. It's different, It's not just without the crowd. It's the Lollipop Man. It's a famous man now. Mm-hmm. It was not easy for the players in the beginning, because the rhythm was different, because they had to wait at the Orki before they can get out the darts again. It's different, but it worked, and it was a success, I would say, the Super League. And even though the averages were not that big in the beginning, and the people needed time to adjust to this environment, but we were all happy with that.
Yeah, and we saw Germany lead the way with the return of football as well. We mentioned there that the Bundesliga being back behind closed doors. This week, we've got the Premier League coming back in England. In terms of the PDC, though, coming back to Germany September 3rd, I think we've got the Premier League in Berlin, then a European Tour event not long after that. I know it's difficult to answer, but can you envisage a crowd being there for those?
It's very difficult. Right now we don't know. It could be the way it looks now. The people who has the coronavirus are getting less and less. It's just 5,000 people in Germany who have this virus right now. That's a good sign. But still, it's not allowed. We don't know what happened in the next couple of weeks. But we are hoping for that. We are hoping, even though it wouldn't be the big crowd, I'm hoping for that we have events with a couple of people there, which is important. I think the fans in darts, they are at least as important as we do have that in football. And we are missing them there as well. So hopefully we can go that step.
Definitely. And let's talk a little bit about you then. You studied journalism in Cologne and you were quite into your tennis from a young age. But when did the darts first come onto your radar?
A long time ago. That was in 2004. There was the time where it was not Sport One, it was the German sports TV, the DSF, who asked me if I wanted to do this. They were planning and were thinking about doing the World Championship 2005. That was the first World Championship we had on German TV. Totally different in compared to England. I didn't know about anything. I just started. I had a player on my side, and we did these 30 hours coverage, and it was a success actually from the beginning. People were watching it, even though there was no German player. And that was the start actually. And from that on, it got bigger and bigger. 2010 was a milestone because we knocked the 1 million wall, with a final of Phil Taylor and Simon Whitlock at that time. And so, in the last 4, 5, 6 years, we see the crowd at the European Tour. We see the TV quotes we have with sometimes almost 3 million people. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the last 5 or 10 years, we've seen darts grow a lot in Germany with more events over there, of course, on TV. You mentioned there the European Tour as well. But when did you first think maybe Germany could be a place to expand for darts with the PDC taking some events over there?
Actually, in 2006, there was Werner von Moltke, the CEO of the PDC Europe now, who asked me if that could work in Germany. He saw that, I don't know, was it the World Championship quarterfinal where Wayne Mardell could beat Phil Taylor, I think that was, and that was the match for him where he thought, okay, why don't we have that? Why don't we have that in Germany? And he started with a tournament which was named Beat the Power. And that was the start of it. And from that on, actually, we always had the feeling, okay, that could work. And I would say since 2010, that was the time where we realized, okay, that could get bigger, and then the European Tour starts at 2012 and the crowd got bigger and bigger. The first darts event we had were in front of 200 people, that were really small things. And from that time on, it got bigger and bigger. Yeah, and now, we have around 250,000 people at the European Tour, in the whole year, which is amazing.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the European Tour. Of course, our UK listeners will most recognise you from the European Tour as the master of ceremonies. How did that role come about for you?
Yeah, that's a good experience. It's a good chance for me to stay in contact with the players and with the fans as well. And it's just a good feeling, when you're kind of part of a development. It's just nice and good to see how it went, and how big it is. And we all know the beginnings, and we all know the critics we had, and people didn't believe in that. And we always said, no, that will work. And Werner von Moltke did a great job there, of course. So that's a good feeling to be there, to be part of that whole thing. And it's good beside doing the commentary, at DAZN, and I do a lot of commentary there, all the big tournaments. It's just a great part of the whole thing.
Yeah, and you introduce the players. You also chat to the winners after matches on the stage as well. I'm sure there's been a lot of favourite moments that you've had in the role. I think one that will probably stand out will be Max Hopp winning one of the European Tour events. But what have been your favourite moments being involved on the European Tour?
Oh, favorite moments, of course. I mean, when Max did that in 2018 in Saarbrücken, that was unbelievable. You know, I think he beat 4 top 10 players. He beat Michael Smith in the final. And I know Max for a long time. I know him since he's 13, 14 years old. I watched him all the time, you know, and we were all hoping that one of the Germans could do that, and then he did it. Perhaps that was emotionally the biggest moment. I mean, to have Phil Taylor there on these stages and to have the big names and to have Peter Wright is always. People in Germany, they love Peter Wright, you know, when he's doing with us the warm-up sometimes with the kids there on stages. That's just brilliant, you know, and that's always moments where I think that's so special in darts, and that makes it that unique, you know, and the fans love darts, even though because of that, you know, and because I'm from tennis, and I did the tennis tour a couple of years, and people are different there, you know. Tennis players are different than darts players, and I really love working with them, and I really love doing this job and doing the interviews, and that's it's a privilege to do that.
Just on the commentary side of things, you're involved with DSF, now known as Sport 1, for a long time, but more recently you've been commentating for DAZN, and we know you guys cover the World Championship, wall-to-wall coverage, covering a lot of that. But what other events do you cover on there?
Actually, the whole thing, the whole tour, you know, it's DAZN is the TV station who has the TV right. It's pay TV. So we in Germany we need to put 3-4 big events in the free TV, and these are the Premier League, the Grand Slam of Darts, the World Championship, and another one. And so DAZN is really covering all the tournaments, the whole tour, including the World Series. And Sport 1 as a free TV channel is just doing 3, 4, 5 tournaments a year.
And on Wednesday next week, you know, you're going to be hosting a Drive In Darts Gala in Hannover. You've got Michael van Gerwen, Raymond van Barneveld, Max Hopp, Devin Peterson. Just talk to us a little bit about what that's all about.
There will be a great experience. Yeah, we're doing that. You know, we are hoping for 1,000 cars who will be there. People can come with 4 people in a maximum in one car. So hoping for 3,000-4,000 people. And we have the big stars there. We will have the drive-ins. We will have special atmosphere. I was at that place. It's really huge. It's a huge stage as well. Hopefully the weather is fine and there's not too much wind, and that we have quality darts as well. And it will be, you know, a mixture of doing longer interviews. I heard Michael and Barney, and they are going to wash the cars of the VIP guests as well. So it will be fun, you know, it will be fun. And I'm hearing that the players are looking forward to that event as well, because they all want the contact to the fans. They are all glad to play in front of fans, you know, not in front of cameras, but in front of fans. And yeah, hopefully it will be good fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it will be. And just lastly, we should also give a mention to your darts podcast, Game On, which you host along with Thomas Saylor. What can our German listeners expect to hear when they tune into you guys?
Oh, you know, I mean, we started in that crazy time this podcast Game On, so it's not much about the actual tournaments or these years, because there was no tournament. So, you know, people to know Thomas and me because we did the commentary on Sport 1 for a long time, and my feeling is they loved it to have us on the commentary in TV. And we are talking about all the old days. We are talking about what's going on and what's to expect on the tour now. And we are talking about all this stuff. And it's always the way when Thomas and I are talking, it's always a bit weird as well. We are laughing a lot and we're just having fun. Yeah, it's good. We love it. We've got quite a lot of viewers or listeners, or I don't know how you say it. So it's good.
Excellent. Well, Elmar, it's really nice to chat to you. Thanks very much for taking the time out to have a chat with us, and have a good one next week in Hannover. And we look forward to seeing you back on that European Tour stage very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully my English was not too bad.